Imagine standing on the edge of a vast desert, grains of sand stretching farther than the eye can see. Now pick up just 2 grains and hold them in your palm. Those 2 tiny specks represent everything else. The planets, the moons, the asteroids, the comets, the countless rocks drifting silently through the void. And the rest of the desert, that is the sun. Our star, burning and roaring in a way that defies comprehension, contains a staggering 99.8% of all the mass in the solar system. Every mountain, every ocean, every human, every machine we've ever built, all of it, combined with Jupiter, Saturn, and every other planet, is no more than those 2 grains of sand compared to the immeasurable bulk of the sun. The sun is a tyrant of gravity. Without its overwhelming dominance, planets would wander aimlessly, like lost ships in a black airless sea. Its mass is the anchor that keeps Earth in orbit, the reason seasons exist, the reason day follows night. Strip it away, and within seconds, our world would be ejected into the frozen dark. That 99.8% is not just a statistic. It is the silent law that governs the order of everything. But how does one star manage to seize almost everything for itself? To answer that, we must travel back 4.6 billion years, to the time before the solar system even existed. A massive cloud of hydrogen and helium, remnants of older stars long dead, floated in space. Slowly, gravity began to pull the cloud inward. The collapse accelerated, material clumping tighter and tighter, until at the center, pressure and temperature soared to unimaginable extremes. In this crucible, nuclear fusion ignited, and the sun was born. But here's the twist. While planets like Earth were forming, they were left with scraps. Jupiter, the largest of the planets, is mighty compared to us, but next to the sun, it is a mere shadow, a colossal marble dwarfed by a blazing giant. The sheer scale is almost impossible to grasp. The sun is so massive that it could swallow more than 1,000,000 Earths. Its weight bends space itself, curving the very fabric of reality around it, forcing the planets into their elegant elliptical orbits. Without its dominance, the solar system would be nothing more than chaos. When we talk about 99.8%, we're not talking about ownership. We're talking about control, about power so absolute that even light must bow to its command. Yet, this staggering mass is not solid. The sun is no ball of fire in the traditional sense, no giant furnace burning coal. Instead, it is a roiling sphere of plasma, a sea of charged particles so hot that matter itself is torn apart. At its heart, where the pressure is so immense that atoms are crushed together, hydrogen is fused into helium. This process releases more energy every second than humanity has used in its entire history. And yet, the energy we receive here on Earth is but 1/2-billionth of the total output. Think about that. 1/2-billionth sustains all life, powers all ecosystems, drives every weather system, and fuels our civilization. But this story is not without its drama. The sun's mass, so immense, is both our blessing and our eventual curse. Over billions of years, the fusion in its core will gradually change its balance, causing it to swell into a red giant. When that day comes, the same star that gave Earth life will consume it. The oceans will boil away, the crust will melt, and Earth will vanish into the expanding sun. All of this will be written by the hand of its mass, by the relentless equation of gravity and time. Still, the sun is not an unfeeling monster. It is also the silent thread connecting us to the cosmos. The very elements in our bodies, the carbon, the oxygen, the iron, were forged in stars like it. The sun, in its mass and light, is both ancestor and protector. Ancient civilizations knew this instinctively. They worshipped the sun, carved temples aligned with its movements, built calendars by its cycles. To them, it was a god. And in a way, they were right. Not in the sense of divinity, but in the sense of sovereignty. No other object in the solar system commands such authority. And here is the irony. The sun's gravitational empire is so vast that even the distant Oort cloud, an icy shell of comets far beyond Pluto, remains bound by its pull. Imagine being more than 1 trillion kilometers away, yet still chained to this star's mass. That is the scale of its reach. If you were to fire a rocket fast enough to escape Earth's gravity, you might feel triumphant. But in truth, you would still be caught in the sun's web. To escape completely, you'd need to travel at over 600 kilometers per second. That's nearly 40 times faster than any spacecraft humanity has ever built. The 99.8% also explains why the planets orbit in harmony. Jupiter may look like a king among planets, but it is merely a courtier, forever circling its star. Saturn's rings, Neptune's winds, Earth's fragile blue seas, all of them exist under the sun's authority. Even the smallest pebble floating between Mars and Jupiter is a prisoner of its mass. This order, this cosmic choreography, is not accidental. It is the inevitable consequence of one object hoarding nearly all the mass for itself. And yet, we often forget. We glance at the sun as if it were nothing more than a ball of light in the sky, something to squint at on a summer afternoon. We forget that it is the center of everything, a blazing giant holding on to us with invisible threads of gravity, keeping us alive in a cosmic balance that could so easily be broken. Here's a thought experiment. Imagine if the sun's mass was suddenly halved. Gravity would weaken, planets would drift outward, and Earth would spiral away into a colder orbit. Life would struggle, ecosystems would collapse, and soon our planet would become a frozen wasteland. Now imagine if its mass doubled. Gravity would tighten, pulling planets inward, destabilizing orbits, and perhaps sending worlds crashing into one another. That delicate 99.8% isn't just impressive, it's the razor's edge on which our existence balances. For now, though, the sun's rule is steady. It burns with a quiet patience, consuming its fuel at a rate that guarantees it will shine for billions more years. To us, it may feel eternal. To the universe, it is just another star, one of countless billions. Yet here, in this tiny corner of the cosmos, it is everything. It is the monarch, the heart, the furnace, the anchor. Its mass is the reason we exist at all. So the next time you stand outside and feel the warmth of sunlight on your skin, remember, that warmth is the faint whisper of a titan whose mass outweighs nearly everything in the solar system. A star that holds 99.8% of all that is here. A reminder that we live not just on Earth, but in the sun's kingdom. A kingdom where we are all, from the mightiest planet to the smallest grain of dust, subjects to its gravity.